Today's business terrain is complex, but managing your business risks doesn't have to be. Cover Buddies is Malaysia's preferred insurance provider. Get that peace of mind knowing that our consultants can help you source and manage your insurance portfolio. For more information, visit our website at www.coverbuddies.com.
Welcome to today's program. This is David here from Cover Buddies, and today we shall be talking to the CEO and co-founder of ForCAr, Mr. Jeff Pan. ForCAr is set to democratize and make car maintenance more accessible, quality car maintenance, by the way, more accessible and more affordable to the masses. Now, just a little bit about Mr. Jeff Pan. He is quite the entrepreneur. Having began his entrepreneurial journey as early as 17 years old, he's been involved with fashion, education, and now the automobile industry. And Jeff was also selected by the British Publishing House and included in the Encyclopedia of Successful People in Malaysia in 2021, where he was shortlisted for Young Entrepreneurship in Business and Economics. Okay, Jeff, maybe you can tell us a little bit about how ForCAr works and what problems it solves in the industry. Take it away, Jeff.
Hello. Thanks for having me, David. So in Malaysia, taking care of a car face a lot of different challenges. And just to name a few, things like counterfeit issues, lack of transparencies, and limited of technology adoption, etc. So in Malaysia, taking care of a car, that's basically in two different segments. The first one is on the 4S Center, which are run by the brand dealers. Okay. So normally if me and you, we drive vehicles that are still under brand's warranty, then we'll go back to 4S Center. But what about vehicles that are out of warranty? So normally they will go to independent workshop. The issues we notice here is that 4S Center, they are having good standard, transparencies, and we don't have to worry on the counterfeit products. But sometimes their costs are quite high compared with independent workshop. But in terms of independent workshop, because there's too many workshops out there, so they do not have the proper standard, and the pricing transparency is not there. And most importantly is there's a lot of counterfeit issues out there. So this is what we are trying to solve with ForCAr. So ForCAr, what we do is that we are trying to build a platform to connect customers and also the service providers, meaning workshops, into the same platform where we can protect our consumers. So by how? We are going to supply authentic products to our merchants by skipping all the middlemen. Because in these industries, there's too many layers, different players. So let's talk about lubricants, for example. Lubricants are basically when we can purchase engine lubricants in a workshop, basically it has been go through more than 5 layers of different traders, correct? At least from a manufacturer all the way to distributors, suppliers, spare parts shop, or different sellers. Only we can get it from the workshop. Therefore, customer unable to ensure whether the product is authentic or not. Sometimes our workshop operators, they cannot identify as well because there's too many different layers.
But how rampant is it out there, like counterfeit products being used on cars? Are we just talking about just lubricants, or could it be anything else?
Actually, it could be anything. And it happens in the industry quite commonly, especially lubricants, that's recycled lubricants.
Recycled lubricants?
Correct. There's a lot of issues even the government are trying to highlight all the time. So this is a long-standing issues in the automotive industry. So when it comes to lubricants and battery, they're quite straightforward. But when it comes to spare parts, we cannot identify whether it is a original spare parts or OEM spare parts, or is a used spare part or not. Especially for end customers like us, we cannot know what is the parts looks like, right?
I mean, honestly, I if you ask me to send my car to service, I just pop my car into the workshop. Then later I come back, I pay for it, I drive. I wouldn't know if the lubricant is,
Correct. Most of us don't even know what part we have changed and whether the operator had changed or not. We cannot identify, right?
It's quite tricky, but I mean, I'm still caught at the lubricant part, right? So you're saying that it is possible that they recycle the lubricants? It is. I mean, not all, of course,
Correct.
but it is possible in the industry.
Correct. And it is a long-standing issues.
And I suppose that will damage your car, right? I mean, if you use
Definitely, if to all any parts of the vehicles, as long as it's counterfeit products, it lead to potential safety issues.
how rampant is it? Let's say out of 10 cars, or I mean, how can you give me like the percentage in the market of how rampant it is? Like, is it like 50% of the market could be, or 50% of the lubricants out there could be counterfeit, or is it higher?
We cannot confirm an actual amount. Even the government also are unable to confirm an actual amount. Frankly speaking, it is quite scary when we look at the numbers. It is quite frequent we encounter counterfeit products in the aftermarket.
Yeah, I suppose, right? I mean, it's very hard to regulate, right? I mean, you considering the fact that, let's say, as a consumer, I mean, I consider myself a smart consumer, but if you ask me about, let's say, my car, I send it in, and even if the guy tells me, okay, I'm using this brand of lubricant, I wouldn't be able to tell.
Correct. And then for layman, we cannot identify the lubricant's quality by just looking at it, right? So basically, we are trying to look into A to Z. So we wanted to protect customers in terms of any kind of service and repairs. What we are trying to do is we combine all the quality service providers across Malaysia, and we bundle them into the same platform, and then we conduct bulk purchase directly with the brand owner or the main distributor. That is how we are going to skip all the middlemen, which may cause the counterfeit issues. So by skipping them, basically we provide service providers two value. All right. The first one is they can increase their profit margin, even selling the same products, because we are trying to help you to skip all the middle traders, right? So the other thing is that we able to ensure the product is authentic.
Because we are going upstream directly to the source, and you
Correct.
cut out all the middle purpose. So the middle person. So what happens is that the margins are there is still margins, but at the same time the price is not inflated. So the value at the end of the day, it basically is transferred direct to the consumer.
Correct. So consumers and the merchant also get protected by the concept.
And so let's say for a consumer, I can see that, but is this something that it's available that I can use on an app, or is it going to be something that how would I use your services?
So we have two different applications. The first one is for customers like us, the end users, and the other apps is for the merchants to manage their workshop. So in terms of just protecting customers, we are trying to push our Malaysia's workshop quality standard to another level as well. Because as we can see, a lot of industry are trying to digitalize, right? But in terms of independent workshop, not so much. We can still see a lot of uncle independent workshop where they're quite traditional. They're still using paper receipt. They do not have any post system, etc. Right? So we have designed and developed a all-in-one applications for uncle to digitalize their business, all the way from billing, invoicing, operational, and e-invoice, and also getting supply, everything within one application.
I'm not an uncle yet, lah, but let's say if I am someone that I run in a workshop, and I'm pretty much very traditional in my ways, but let's say if I were to partner up with ForCAR, you would come in with basically the digital platform where you supply obviously like a POS system, and you also supply the products, or
Correct. So we have four value we are bringing to the workshops. So the first one is the operational system I mentioned, and it is for free. Okay, we hope the industry can digitalize and improve their standard from here. So the operation system free for them to use. We try to increase their sales as well. If you're using our operation system and you're increasing your standard, your quality standard, your transparencies, billing, etc., that is where customers feel confident with you as well.
Right. So it's all very transparent in that sense.
Correct. And the third value we are bringing is the supply. We able to let you to purchase supply directly with the distributor. So how the industry currently works is that workshop normally cannot buy products supply with the distributor due to margin and due to the volume. So workshop volume I can only buy based on my own demand, right? That's why I cannot bargain for bigger margin, right? So how are we going to increase your margin is that we are doing a bulk purchase campaign here, okay? We gather all the independent workshop and we conduct bulk purchase together. That is where we can enjoy tier 1 purchase margin.
Directly upstream, okay.
Yep, while remaining your own volume only lah.
Does the workshop need to pay upfront for the products first, or how does that work? What's the arrangement like?
Okay, so in this industry, that is another issues, which is the bad debt issues. So traditional business, they doing terms, right? So normally, spare part shop giving terms 13 days, 16 days to the service providers, the workshop. And then workshop sometimes also giving terms to their close customer. The issues here is if the customer unable to pay on time, the workshop are going to drag the payment to the supplier as well.
Yeah,
The whole chain are going to have that issues.
correct.
So what ForCAr wanted to do is that we are able to provide financing together with our regulated financial institution partners to release the burden in between merchants and also the consumers. So meaning to say merchant workshop who purchase supply with us, we're able to provide them installment, real interest installment, or even a different financial arrangement for their supply.
So that they can improve their cash flow.
Correct. And then at the same time, we assist customer to apply for financing for their service and repair.
If I understand you correctly, are you saying that you also have like financing for car servicing and all that? Is that what you guys are offering?
Yep. We are trying to work with different financial institutions partners, which they're more than happy to finance these areas.
What sort of stuff can you finance then? Let's say if I'm a customer, what can I finance?
Basically, with different FI partners we have, basically you can finance anything related to your car, from car tinting, insurance renewal, change of tires, or any kind of repair. So basically, you can apply for installment.
Can you also share with our listeners, but how would that be different compared to, I understand the financing part, but let's say if someone is using a credit card, there would be some sort of financing also, right? I mean, in the end consumer's mind, because, let's say I tint my car for X amount, I use my credit card and then I slowly pay it off. What is the difference there?
So the difference right here, we are trying to remain the customer credit limit to them. When it comes to car repair, sometimes it's unpredictable, right? Most of the youngsters out there, they do not have either enough credit limit or they do not have enough saving funds for car repairs. Okay, so by using our financing with our regulated FI partners, and basically they can remain their credit card limit for a financing installment for their car repair. Because car repair sometimes might be expensive. So when it comes to if you have to overhaul your engine or anything to do with the gearbox, easily the
Better
bill,
you sell the car like that.
yeah, easily the bill might cost higher than your credit limit, right? How are you going to maintain the vehicle?
Oh, so ForCar also offers financing scheme or easy payment plans basically for their car related servicing. That means even as low as maybe let's say a routine service. Do you offer that? Let's say if my servicing is, I don't know, 500 ringgit. Let's say with oil and oil change and oil filter change, all that thrown in, I can actually apply for a financing scheme there.
Correct.
Is there a minimum, by the way, of like, I mean, obviously, if it's $100 or 100 ringgit, I don't think I would need some sort of financing. Or is there?
Our current minimum rate will be 500 and above lah.
And what are the terms like? I mean, does it spread out to like 24 months or 12 months or 6 months? Or is it going to be like a buy now, pay later where it's 3 payments? Or
We can do both. Whether you would like to keep it short, 3 to 6 months, or you can go up to 24 months as well.
imagine spreading like a 500 ringgit to 24 months. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. But I think that's very convenient, right? I mean, it makes it so much easier because, like I mentioned earlier during the beginning of the pod, where buying a car is one thing, right? But obviously, the sales guy at the showroom is not going to tell you, but when you maintain the car, your tire's going to cost this much, and your insurance and your headlights, he's not going to tell you that, right? And the next thing and no disrespect, of course, to the showroom and so forth, but it's not in their interest to actually share that with you. But next thing you know, once you pick up the car, it's got warranty, but the moment the warranty ends, then the monkey's on your back because anything else is definitely out of pocket.
Yes, you are right. So we have designed a application for customers to easily manage their vehicles. So basically, one app for you to manage all your car needs. It can store information such as when is your next service date, or when is your insurance renewal time. You can renew within the app, and you can access.
So useful.
Correct. You can access to all the service providers near you, and then you get protected by the platform when you do the services with the service providers. And then you can opt for financing facilities and you can keep track on everything. All of the invoices, receipt, everything is within the same app.
And I presume it's going to also let me know where the service locations are. Can I make like can I just like schedule a maintenance or a servicing?
You can directly engage with our merchants as well within the app. So from making appointment to any communications, getting quotations. Because right now, if you have to get a quotation from Uncle Workshop, you have to walk in one by one, right? So with the app, you can get quotation from multiple Uncle one shot.
But basically, car workshop operators, and you can actually compare from there. So that's value for you also as an end consumer, right? Because at least you know, you can find the nearest outlet. Number one, number two, you can always find one that with the pricing that you can agree with, and then you can actually hit from there. And obviously, once that pricing is agreed on, that's the pricing, and there are no other surprises. Is there anything else that, let's say, looking ahead or looking forward, ForCAr, what else would ForCAr be offering?
The current focus we are trying to achieve is to have a deeper relationship with service providers. We wanted to help more traditional workshop operators to digitalize their businesses.
Any opportunities for partnerships or collaborations for non-car operators?
Yeah, although we are currently focused on service and repair, but we plan to go into the other segment as well, such as detailing, accessory, and so forth.
Anything that's car related, right?
Correct,
so
correct.
I think tinting, insurance, all that's a given. But yeah, detailing and maybe upholstery and accessories and so forth, definitely that would be like something that you would be able to cover also.
Correct.
And how would anybody who wants to reach out to you, how can they contact you, Jeff?
They can directly go to our website and also our LinkedIn.
And your website URL would be
www.forcar.com.my.
FORCAR.com.my?
Yes, correct.
Thanks for joining us in the pod today, Jeff.
Thank you so much.
And if you guys have any more questions, you can also reach out to us at www.coverbuddies.com. That's www.coverbuddies.com. Thanks for joining us.
If you enjoyed our show today, be sure to subscribe and follow us on social media, or sign up for our newsletter through our website at www.coverbuddies.com so you'll get all the good stuff sent directly to you.